What's going on, OTR crew? It's your man Chief here today, man. We got us a GOAT one today. We got the OTR crew, GOAT T. Say what's up.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hell yeah, man. Only the realest here. So today we're gonna talk about we're basically gonna talk about us guys, man. Are the guys becoming more lazy, or are we just becoming more, what was it? Are we becoming more lazy, or are we just becoming more immature?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you think about this, well, the reason we came to this subject is because we were thinking, there's a large percentage of men out here who are living off of their woman. Basically meaning, the woman is the breadwinner out there, and that the man basically either stays home or he's not making enough to help to take lead of his household. So what do y'all think about that?
Personally, I think we're starting to see more of a trend in this kind of, like the man is just kind of letting the woman take the reins on the bills and whatnot. I think part of that could be from the whole women's rights activism thing going on. You know what I mean?
Like feminism?
Yeah, I don't want to get too political or anything, but take it back 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
50 years ago, like the woman was in the kitchen. She didn't want to go to work. She wanted to stay home, raise the kids, clean house, blah, blah, blah. Do all the homework, home living stuff,
Mm-hmm.
And the man went out and earned a salary for the house and for the bills and all that. As we've progressed through time, that's kind of changed, though. And one of the reasons I think that could be is, one, inflation. It's getting a little hard to live off of one income, if we're being honest.
Yeah, damn near impossible now.
Yeah. I mean, unless you really raking in some money, you can't really just be one breadwinner in the family. And another reason, again, is the feminine activists.
They're kind of making women feel like they have to be more empowered.
Yeah.
We can do whatever a man can do, and we can do it better, kind of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, now this is kind of going to go off of another topic that we'll talk about later on, different episode. But when it comes to a woman, I think one of the most important jobs she has is giving birth to that baby and then raising that baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's your offspring. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's important.
Exactly.
It's the future. I have a lot to say about this whole scenario, man. I really do. I know so many people that they're men, whatever you want to call them, boyfriends, husbands, whatever. They don't want to work. And they'll tell them, hey, I want to work. I'm trying to find a job. And then they don't have a job for like 5-8 months. They don't want a job. If they wanted a job, they would find one because there's so many places hiring right now.
Exactly.
It is so easy to find a job literally anywhere. But I think I see where you're coming from with like the feminism and all that, but I really don't see that in a lot of the situations. I work at Waffle House, so I know a lot of women, and the situation, it just, it sucks, but I personally would definitely kick the man to the curb because that is horrible. I'm not going to be taking care of a grown man, and I don't care if they're lazy. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, but I wasn't raised to take care of a big man, you know what I mean?
Right.
They're supposed to take care of me, and I would love to be a trad wife, which means traditional wife. I'd love to stay at home. I'd love to cook and clean all day and make sure I got food ready for my husband every day when he comes home from work, but, I just can't, we can't do that.
Yeah. I agree with you. You should kick him to the curb because, I mean, if he ain't doing shit, then you just basically dragging him along.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if y'all got kids and he still ain't doing shit, then it's like you taking care of another kid.
Yeah.
Because you still
my goodness.
got to put food on the table. You got to feed him too.
Mm-hmm.
I work with somebody, and her boyfriend has a kid with some other woman, and she takes care of that kid sometimes. Like, the kid comes over about, like, once every other week, or for the weekends or something like that, and she takes care of it. And I'm like, you guys aren't even married, one. Number two, he's not working. That is his kid, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't push that baby out of your, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's crazy. I would never do it, honestly, because if the man's not working, he's probably about to go to jail, too, because he ain't paying child support or anything, because he doesn't have a job. So I mean, he's just kind of screwed, and I feel bad for her because they're living together, and they don't know where he's living. So if they come after him to get him for like child support, you know what I mean? Like she could get in trouble for like holding him. You know what I mean? They could consider that, but it's just crazy nowadays with these men not wanting to work.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like the roles are kind of people are trying to force the roles to switch. They kind of want the man to be at home and the woman to be out making all the money, but that's not how we're
That'll
built to
never
be.
work.
Right.
That's not how
It'll
we
never
were created.
Right.
Right. Because, I mean, if the woman is out working all day, how y'all going to start a family? I mean, especially if y'all are both working.
Right.
Then how y'all going to start a family? You know,
Yeah.
she might get pregnant, but then she had the baby,
She
but then
gotta go
after
off,
maternity
yeah.
leave,
Yeah.
after she get off maternity leave, she going back to work. So who's going to
Right.
be taking care of those kids?
And to second on that point, there's a lot of times where families try that,
Yeah.
and it winds up being just it's so expensive to put your kid in childcare for the day and whatnot. It's
Especially
almost
a good one.
yeah, and so it's like at that point, you know, is it even worth going to work to put your, you know, most of the time,
It's
unless
like
you have a
$80
really
a day.
yeah, unless you have a really high paying job, most of the time you're not making more money than if you would just have your wife stay at home.
Exactly.
You know,
To
'cause
be
it's such
fair,
an expensive-
I'm not putting my kids in, when I have kids, in public schools or any of that. I will be at home by the grace of God, because it's just,
Yeah.
I'm not putting them in public schools.
Yeah,
There's
these
no
school
way.
systems are messed up right
Yeah,
now.
bad.
Oh, it's so bad.
And, you know, that leads me almost to feel like there's another point here. You know, we've been talking a lot about women here, but let's shift this to a man's perspective. You know, for me, I look at this situation we've got coming up in the U.S. society, because this isn't really happening in other societies.
True.
It just seems to be American societies that we got this issue going on with.
Yeah.
And if you take the women out of the whole bubble,
Yeah.
right? We take them out, and then we just look at the man, and we look at it from an outer view. There's got to be an issue with him. You know what I mean?
True.
Because
Yeah.
like
Very
me
true.
as a man, if I think it'd be very hard, and I've been there. I've been laid off and whatnot, and then I ain't got work for like 3 weeks. It drives me nuts.
Exactly.
I want to be out there making money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, maybe it's just kids and younger generations and whatnot, which is great lead into the next episode. But you know, maybe it's the way our upbringing is. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of these men, when you're a boy, you know, nowadays you get an iPad at age 5?
Yep.
You know what I mean? You can
Looking
watch YouTube, do this, play video games, whatever.
Yeah.
You do everything but like work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like for me, when I was younger, one of the things I loved to do was go outside and like build crap and
Play
be
outside.
dangerous
Yeah.
and do a bunch of stuff that's like fun to me.
Yeah.
But like kid stuff that I would be like, you know, use your imagination. What can you do? I built like mountain bike parks in the backyard and took them down.
Yeah.
You know?
Should build skate parks in class.
Yeah. I mean, we were very, like, we went to class together and we built tech deck parks and skate parks and literal skateboard ramps and all kinds of stuff. We were creative, you know? We wanted to do fun things that were fun to us that weren't just games. Now,
That
don't get
were
me
real.
wrong. Right. Don't get me wrong. Gaming's fun. I game.
Yeah.
I play video games. If you've seen the one video we posted, we have a channel where there's some gaming on there. It's not very popular. I only posted once. You know, playing some games, that's cool. But when you're a kid, I think if the country would start putting more of the kids, like, go outside for 6, 7, 8 hours and
Just be a
find
fucking
something
kid.
to do. Yeah, do something.
Yeah.
Use your imagination.
Yeah.
They'll find stuff to do, and then I almost feel like it put a work ethic in me, because it was like, what do I want to do? Oh, I want to build a mountain biking course. And so what did I do? I went into the woods and started digging. You know, that's like a grown man thing. We'd be out there 14 hours a day,
Yeah.
digging trails and making them pretty and doing all this and that, and it's like it was a lot of work.
Right.
but it was the reward was worth it. You know.
Yeah, and I kind of want to go off of what you were just talking about. You know, the upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
Since we're talking about the men, I mean, you know, there's a lot of men who grew up and they didn't have a father,
Yeah.
so
That's
they
true.
weren't taught responsibility and hard work.
Right.
It was only their mom that was raising them in that emotional ass environment,
Yep.
and that's all they know. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That sucks because you need a man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
real men.
You-
You
yeah.
know,
Men need their well, men really need their fathers. There's a very important distinctive role that a father brings to a child, especially a boy.
yeah,
There's
big time.
something that a father can just bring him to help him grow up to become a very well-mannered, behaved man.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, to kind of like piggyback off of that as well, I think that's actually like a 50-50 thing almost. I think 50% of the time, maybe the odds are a little bit different, but in my opinion, I think 50% of the time it turns out like that, where it's bad
Right.
the whole way. And then I think 50% of the time, it does a little something different because they're like, from a young age, they're like, man, I got to step up, and I'm the man of the house now.
Right.
Now I got to go out and make the money for the bills.
Uh-huh.
Does that lead to the best decision making?
probably not.
Probably not. No, but that does instill some type of
Work ethic.
a work ethic and like I have a responsibility to my family
Right.
in them.
Right.
And so
Like
you
a
know,
long term kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah. Like just in their minds, their whole life is, you know, I gotta make money to provide for my family.
Right.
How am I gonna do that? Unfortunately, a lot of the times, it's go to the streets.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm not working at McDonald's or whatever. You know, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, they think they too good. To
Right. Yeah. And so, you know, there's two different sides of that story, and unfortunately, both don't usually end up very well.
That's true.
Neither one, you know. And so,
Yeah, I mean, you know, they say a good percentage of young boys who grow up in a single family house or a single parent household, like with just their mother, they're the ones that's most likely to turn out, you know, to be in prison, to be in the streets, to be selling drugs,
dead.
to be killing people. They end up dead. School shooters, all that
Yeah.
kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't have anybody to look up to except their
Yeah.
mom.
They don't have that man
They have
playing that
structure.
father role, and
Right.
they only know what their mother taught them, and that's emotional. You know,
Yes.
act on your emotions, show how you feel. You know,
Yeah.
they don't have that father
Right.
like, look, you gonna have feelings and emotions, but you got to know how to control that shit.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
we learned, me and my husband learned this at a marriage conference actually, that women see through pink sunglasses and men see through blue sunglasses. There's just stuff that women, like moms, they don't see the same as the father, or you know what I mean? And it's just, it's hard when you're raising a kid and it's just, you're the only one, which I'm not a parent yet, but I know it's hard. It's gotta be hard, you know, you're the only one, and they probably are trying.
Yeah,
But they don't know better because they're seeing through pink sunglasses and not blue sunglasses.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially when they got more than one.
Yeah.
If you got like 4 kids and and it's just you taking care of all those
Right.
kids, that's a lot.
Well, then it becomes, you know, the oldest is now a second parent.
Yeah,
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got to help me take care of them. Da 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 da.
yeah,
And again, that's where coming to that responsibility kind of falls into. Well, you know, I'm the oldest. I got to take care of them. You know.
yeah. But see this whole thing though, it's like without that father, I feel like they just grow into grown boys,
Yeah.
basically. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're not real
exactly.
men.
They're just boys.
Yeah,
Right.
They never matured into men. If they matured into men, they would get a job. They would want to provide.
yeah,
Yeah.
Not
So-
saying that it's it's not saying it's the father's fault, because if they really wanted to, they would. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
Well, and at the same time,
they could be
you
either
know,
way.
it's not, you know, you never know what the father situation is.
Right.
That's
So
true,
like
too.
for me personally, I have a nephew, and you know his father, he died in a 4-wheeler accident.
Mhm.
Very sad story, but the point I'm trying to make here is now that little nephew, he's growing up with just his mom, right? Well, there's certain things, and I noticed this because I went up to use the bathroom. He was over at the house. Well, he was in the bathroom getting ready to go, this is kind of a dumb example, but it's little things like this that can add up, you know? Just little things that he's not being taught because he doesn't have a father in the home. So, like, he was trying to pee with the toilet seat out.
Right.
And I was like, you know, listen, dude, lift the toilet seat up. Then you splatter, don't get on the seat. So when the women want to sit down, they don't have to, you know,
Right.
they got to worry about cleaning the seat off and whatnot, which I said, dumb example, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At just age 3, you know what I mean? So
there's
that can
things that
compile
they-
up with just small little things over time.
Yeah,
You know?
because there's always going to be things that the father can teach that the mother just won't be able to teach that child.
Right.
Right.
Same thing if the child grew up with only his father. Well, the father's going to teach all this masculine stuff, but they don't have that feminine energy there to show them how to
Right.
deal with emotions and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
kind of get in touch with their feelings a little bit, because a true man is in touch with his feelings to a certain degree.
Yeah,
You know, when it's time to put it aside, you gotta, you know, your work, you gotta put it aside. You gotta grind.
Yeah, you
you're
gotta-
focused on this right now.
right.
You know, but there are times, you know, when you're with your lady. That's one thing these women love, by the way. If
Is
you
it-
guys don't
A
know,
masculine ass man.
they like a masculine man, but they also like that masculine man to be able to open up and be emotional and
Right.
touch with their emotions at the same time.
But still be able to control them.
Yes, exactly. Not to go all boohoo hysterical.
Yeah,
Okay.
if somebody makes him upset, he just can't control his emotions, get mad and punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, no.
Like, bro. Yeah, or get sad and shoot up the town. Like,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Not that kind of emotion.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
just-
like to be able to connect, because women, we are emotion. Like that is literally like, I mean, we have a lot of emotion with everything. So like you may think something you say is like, you know, oh, like it's easy, and then it's just it hits us a different way because we're different. Women and men are different.
Well,
Yeah.
like she's, you know, piggyback off that. It's all about how they're in touch with their emotions. So like women, you know, everything you say is somehow emotional to them. It drives me nuts. I don't know, you know. It's crazy, you know, but it's part of being a man, and you know, like me being married, to understand, you know, how do I get in touch with that at the same time of keeping my masculinity, but still be able to get in touch with the feelings, especially the emotions with my wife, you know.
Right.
And that's something that you just kind of have to pick up along the way, really, you know, it's trial and error.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a quote that a guy told me. I liked it. It's good for this conversation. His name was Kevin Samuels.
Mm-hmm.
He said that the man is supposed to be the rock that the woman's emotions are able to crash up against.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great description. Yeah.
Pretty much perfect point to that right
Yeah.
there. That's a great point.
That's what I'm saying. But anyway, let's dial it back in though. So a man is supposed to be the head of the household. Simple. Everything is supposed to go through him.
Right.
He's supposed to be the breadwinner. He's supposed to be the decision maker.
Supposed to be the leader. He's
Exactly.
supposed to lead.
Exactly.
That is
Yeah.
how it's supposed to be.
That's one thing that drives me nuts about these little couch bums that let
Oh
their,
my goodness.
their
They just
woman
sit on the
take care
couch
of
and
them.
play video games all
Yeah.
day. Or
Yeah, I mean,
sleep
just
all day while their
Sleep all
woman's at
day,
work. How
play video
lazy are you?
games.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm applying for jobs.
Yeah.
No,
that
no.
I'm looking.
Yeah, you
like
ain't looking
when?
for nothing.
Oh my
When the last
goodness.
time you applied somewhere?
Yeah.
I just
And it's-
applied last week.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's bad. It is bad even when their parents are noticing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
woman's parents are noticing.
Yeah. Taking care of her, not shit ass
Yeah.
dude.
No way.
Yeah,
I'm
and I
sorry,
mean-
but that's just it's horrible.
For me, it drives me up a wall because, like, you know, I like to be the leader of the household. I
Me
like
too.
to be the leader, and like, this is where we're going. I'm gonna lead us here. you
Exactly.
know? We're saving for such and such a home. You know, somebody's got to lead that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't just make money and for nothing. You know
Yes.
what I mean? You gotta keep going. You gotta keep moving. You gotta have goals. You gotta know how to operate. And it's not a woman's strong suit to do
And that's
that.
that's
It's
what I was
not.
about to say. It's just not. It'd be so much more stressful for the woman to handle all of that, especially with us being more emotional. You know, like all this stuff like compiled onto it. Like when my husband got laid off a couple times, like, and obviously he couldn't do anything about that. It wasn't his fault, right? But when he did, it was stressful for me because I was trying to, you know, make sure we had enough money for bills and all that, you know. And that's why I feel bad for my friend at work because it just sucks. It's horrible because I know she's struggling. I mean, we work at Waffle House. We make okay money, but when you only work 3 days a week, you know what I mean? You
Right.
can't make that much. And you're feeding 2 mouths plus the child that's not even yours.
Yeah.
So it's just it sucks, and I feel terrible for her. And she knows what she's in. She does.
It's a sucky situation.
It really is.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing about losing jobs, though, right? See, a lot of men, when they get laid off or they get fired, they use that as an excuse. Like, okay,
good.
I had a really good job and they fired me. Well, I'm never gonna find a job that pays like this again.
Right.
Or they be like, oh, well, I might as well just give up. Fuck it. It didn't work out, you know.
Yeah.
And that's how they act. We got too many guys out here that actually do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, if I'm honest with myself, I probably done worked my whole corporate career. I probably worked about 9 or 10 jobs, right? And probably been fired about 9 or 10 times.
Well, when you're in a blue collar job too, it's different, you know.
Yeah, but still, I've probably been fired about 9 or 10 times. Out
Right.
of all the jobs I work, I've been fired pretty much every time.
Right.
But you don't see me backing down or being scared, like, oh, you know, using any excuse in the book as to why I can't get out there and find another job.
Right.
Because just because you got fired or the career path that you took isn't working for you doesn't mean that that's the only path that was available for you. I mean,
Right.
there's so many different jobs out here that you could go out there and find. There's literally no excuse. And like you said earlier, T, it's so many jobs out here, man.
So many.
There's
So
no
So
excuse.
many
And a
jobs.
lot of places are paying like $18 an hour now. Like even like UDF
Yeah.
or like gas stations and stuff, or like Panera or Chick-fil-A. Like it's not terrible money, but at least you're providing for something. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I think that they're getting too comfortable.
They
I
are.
think they're like, oh, my woman's paying for everything. I'm sitting pretty right
Yeah,
now.
you kick
I don't
my
have to
feet
do
up.
anything. I just get to sit here all day while she goes to work. I'm sorry, but that is just, it's so bad. It makes me so mad because it's just, I feel bad for the women that are taking care of these little boys because it's just not fair. That's not what
See-
we were built to do.
See, but I don't feel bad for them though, because they choose to be with those guys.
That's true.
That is
But
such
I
a good
also
point.
think there's a psychological thing with that.
Yeah,
If
That's
they've
true.
been with them for a long time.
Yeah.
and they might have been something at first, but
Right.
then
Right.
Yeah.
So
He
that's
fell
that's
off
how it
and
is with
then-
my friend at work, you know. I think they're attached. I think that she's attached to him and she's scared.
right.
And that's a sucky situation, you know, but it's definitely both of their faults. They're both in that, you know.
And yeah, I mean, when you say that too, it's like, valid point. The woman's fault. She could leave at any moment and not have 2 extra mouths to feed and tease stories,
Right.
you know, and her ordeal. But at the same time, like T said, it's like, you know, yeah, you're 100% right. She could leave, but at the same time, you know, when you've been together for somebody, I think part of that is she's like scared because she doesn't know what'll happen without him.
Right.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
she's been with him
Because
for
not
so
only
long.
is he getting comfortable with the fact that she's making the money,
But she's
comfortable with the
taking care
fact
of
that
that.
she's, what I wouldn't say taking care of him. She's probably very uncomfortable doing that, but she's probably comfortable in the fact of she has somebody that's just
He's
been
still
there.
there.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
been there, and that's a safe place for her.
I like that.
so to speak.
I like that. For
You know
sure.
what I
Kind of
mean?
like a she doesn't know. She's afraid that the grass ain't greener on the other side.
Right,
Right,
right. And that's
exactly.
it's so sad
It's
because
horrible.
my sister's been through the same thing. She's been through the thing where the guy, you know, like we were talking about earlier, the whole father thing, you know, was a no-go for him.
Right.
And, you know, he was one of those 50% that was like, I'm going to take care of my family. He just did it in a bad way, so to speak. You know, went to the streets and, you know, he was selling drugs and doing this and that, you know what I mean? And it wasn't always going great, you know, business wasn't always popping.
Right.
And so who had to be the breadwinner? Well, my sister was a job that
Yeah.
provided monthly income, weekly income, boom, 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 stability, you know, while as for him, you know, it was just kind of like here and there, and
Hit or
at the
miss.
same time, it was it's a little bit different because it wasn't like he was just chilling on the couch.
Mhm.
Like he was out there trying to make money to an extent, but he was also like, he was a little dirt bag, so to speak. And
Splurge and wasted.
like, yeah, he was just, you know.
Did he have like hella addictions of his own?
He-
Or?
No, it wasn't that. It was more like he would get mad, scream and yell all the time, break her stuff.
Emotional.
Yeah,
See?
lose
For
his
no reason.
emotions.
Right, yeah.
Like
He's just-
crazy.
Because he wasn't a man, he was a boy, you know?
Right.
And
Grown ass
Right.
boy.
That's what's-
Yep.
Grown boy.
Yeah.
That's so sad to say that.
Maybe
Instead
we
of grown
should-
man, you gotta say
Maybe
grown
we should.
boy.
Yeah,
Maybe we should
but-
change that to, you know, what's wrong with these grown boys out
Grown
here?
men and grown boys. I like that though for sure.
A boy in a man's body.
Literally.
You know? So.
That's what it is, bro. But it's just ridiculous, bro. I mean, these guys just got to get off their ass and do something, bro.
They really
they,
do. I mean,
they don't
it's
want
not,
to.
It's not
Yeah.
that hard. It's really not that hard.
Yeah.
And you got to think about how your woman feels. You know what I mean? Like, how can you sit there and just feel nothing for her because she's working her butt off for you, and if you have a kid, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's providing for everything. She's paying the bills. She's buying food. She's feeding you. She's feeding your kid. You know what I mean? She's doing everything in her, like,
Literally everything.
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, you just gotta ask yourself, am I doing the right thing by just sitting on my butt all day
Right.
and not providing for my family?
Right.
And in no way am I about to defend these men because,
Hell
like,
no.
this message, I hope y'all hear it and y'all are just getting obliterated the whole time.
Y'all
Yeah.
have no
Y'all,
excuse.
yeah, y'all ain't
Right.
got no excuse. Y'all need to get out there and go work.
Man,
But-
there's remote jobs you can do if you can't
Literally.
leave the house.
Yeah,
Man. I
yeah.
don't want to
like,
hear no
if
excuses.
people on house arrest got jobs, like, come on.
Literally.
So, but you know, it's the thing of, you know, is the woman talking to him though? You know, is the woman going, hey, you know, this is how this makes me feel.
Right.
That's
This
true.
is how I can't, it's hard for me, blah, 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 blah. I need you to step up and be a man and quit being a little couch baby.
Exactly.
You know, get up, go do something. I'm tired of this, you know? Speak up. For if ladies are listening out there, you guys got to speak
You
up.
gotta say
Yeah.
something.
A man can sit there, and we're not even gonna call them men because they're boys. Men would know better. You know,
Right.
they'll
Right.
go out there
True.
and work.
That's true.
But these boys, you know, maybe they just need a little kick in the rear end. Hey, get your butt up and go work.
Uh-huh.
I don't care if you got to go job hunting all day tomorrow. If you're gonna go out for 27 hours, you go out and you get a freaking job today.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. She drives him around everywhere because he doesn't have his license.
Damn. See?
So
That's
she's driving him
everything.
around. She's driving him around.
It
She's
just
paying
got
for
worse.
everything.
Yeah.
So it's sad. It's so sad, and it's. I feel so bad for her and all the women that are doing that are being taken advantage of like that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is basically. I mean, if you want to describe it that way, it's just.
See, but I wouldn't
Sad.
call it taking advantage though, because she's making it seem to that boy. That's why I call him boy.
Yeah.
Keep that.
But they know.
Yeah,
But they already know though.
She
Right.
makes it seem like to the guy that it's okay for him to stay there while she takes care of him, right? If she never says anything,
Yeah.
she's making it seem like it's okay, so she's kind of enticing it. Then the guy
They're
he
not
sees,
wrong. It's
the
enticing,
guy
for
sees
sure.
that when the guy can see that she's okay with it because she hasn't said anything to him, right? So
well,
he
she
sees,
has. She'll say
Well,
you
no,
need to
I-
get a job and like stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's like she says stuff, but I don't think that she pushes hard enough. You know what I mean? Like she
Right.
really like get a job or I'm leaving you
yeah.
because she's too scared.
Well, I'm not
He's
specifically
comfortable.
talking about your story. I'm just talking about in
Right.
general.
Yeah.
You know, if they don't say anything, the guy thinks it's okay, so he's just gonna keep doing it because it's
Right.
like
That's
she's
true.
not saying nothing to me.
Right.
She's not complaining. Why would I complain? You
Right.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
And
That's
here's
true.
now this would make me even more upset and more pissed is if she is saying something and she's getting in touch with her emotions with him, like, hey, this is how this makes me feel.
Right.
And if you're a boy sitting on that couch and your woman's telling you and like breaking down, crying, like, I don't think I can do this.
Yeah.
I'm struggling here, and you still gonna sit there and play games? Oh,
You really ain't shit.
you literally are. You're nothing. You at this point, like.
Waste of space.
Literally, you just sitting around for you waste of space, you
Eating my
waste of
food,
money,
wasting my
you waste of
gas.
everything.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to go get a job because your woman out there breaking down in your arms basically and telling you, you know, I can't do this, and you just go sit there and just whatever.
Just brush it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back on the game. Like that's so screwed up, and that's not acceptable
Right.
in any circumstance.
Yeah, and I'm a move this somewhere else real quick because I want to leave a message to all my black guys out there. You know, because the only reason I'm leaving a message to them is because we're the majority in this situation, right? So a lot of us black guys, you know, we grow up thinking that there's only two ways to make money: either get a job or go to the streets. And unfortunately, too many of us choose to go to the streets. And I'm just telling you right now, ain't nothing in the streets for y'all, man. I mean, my grandmother told me it's only three ways that you're going to end up being in the street. You're going to end up dead, you're going to end up in prison, or you're going to end up a bum-ass nigga sitting on your girl's couch, driving your girl's car. And there's so much more. There's so much more that we can do. I mean, just get out there and find you a decent paying job, make you a decent living, man. Make your family proud. Don't go to the streets. You don't want to end up. I mean, you see the guys that are older than you, how they turned out being in the streets, but you still decide to be stupid and follow in their footsteps. And then you end up the same way, and then you make every excuse in the book as to why you ended up how you ended up. But yeah, I just wanted to leave that message out there to y'all, man. But yeah, don't live under your woman. Stop being a pussy.
Yeah, definitely get up and get a job.
Yeah, grow
Get
up there,
get
bro.
a job and
Yeah.
stop using your woman. You know,
Yeah.
just make some money, provide, be a man, not a boy.
And like you know, like Chief said here, you know, if it's a low paying job, it's better than nothing.
Exactly.
And it's a
Right.
start.
Exactly.
You know, you can start out from nothing and build your way up.
That's what I'm saying. You could start at McDonald's as start flipping burgers, but then 6, 7, 8 months down the road, now you the manager.
Right.
Now you in corporate. Now now your pay's starting to elevate more.
Yep.
So don't listen to these people who try to tell y'all for everybody. Don't listen to nobody that tells y'all that working at a fast food place or a minimum wage place ain't no good for you, man.
Right.
It's a start.
Yep.
Like Goat just said, it's a start.
It is a start, and I can attest for that because I mean, like I said, I work at Waffle House, and I've been there for almost 2 years. I have regulars. I make money because now I've been there for so long, and I don't get raises. You know, it's just because I have regulars and people because I've been there for so long.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, for all you guys out there, all you ladies, if you don't have a job and you know it's summertime, this video's gonna be coming out in the summertime.
Yep.
You know, for you high schoolers even.
Start
Yeah.
of summer.
Go get a little job in the summer.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
you
See
some
a little
money.
grass.
something going on. Most of them, we start a business. Be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, if you don't want to work a damn job, start something up. Make some money a different way.
Get you a little lawnmower and put you something together. Start cutting grass.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it pay.
It sure
You get
will.
you a couple customers, and next thing you know, you making good money every week.
Yeah, and the best thing about it is that you're making an honest living.
Right.
That's right.
Yep. That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good.
Just
You
stop
are.
being boys, be men.
Yeah, grow the
quit
fuck
being
up,
little
man.
boys. We're done with that. We're done with the boys. You
And
listen
if
to this. Quit being a boy. Be a man. Go get a job. Get a lawnmower. I don't care what you gotta do. Do something.
Right.
Start making money. You know, just in an honest way, in a way that's not gonna leave you in 3 terrible places.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Exactly,
If the roles
man.
are reversed and you're a little girl, be a big woman
Right.
and get a job and help provide if you want. And if you're like, if the man's making enough money, be my guest and stay at home. Be a traditional wife. You know, that sounds awesome to me. You know, but
Yeah.
be a woman, be a man. It's not that hard. It really isn't.
It's really, I mean, it's so simple, but
It is.
this society is trying to make this shit seem like it's so difficult.
Right.
I mean, this is stuff that was ingrained in our brains.
Yep.
Yet they're trying so hard to reverse that stuff.
Yeah. So, you know, what do you guys think, you know?
Yeah, let us know, man. Do y'all think it's alright for a man to live up under his woman, laid up under her all day, every day? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
So,
no way.
No way.
Comment down below what y'all think, man. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all
Dislike.
that good stuff. Dislike, hey.
Hey, we'll know who you are.
Yeah, hey, on me, man.
Leave a dislike on this one. We'll know. Leave a comment. We'll know who you are.
Yeah,
You know.
all of that, man. But till next time,
Yep.
OTR out.
We out.